Hey, what's up y'all? I'm back with another video. Fishing has forever been a moneymaker for the casual farmer and the bag chaser alike, with an extremely low barrier of entry while also having a pretty high skill ceiling for the elite of the elite fishermen out there. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to max out your fishing skill, as well as how to make a metric ton of gold with as little effort as possible. From fishing up treasures to finding blood in the water, I decided to farm each of the 4 zones to determine which one was the best, and with that being said, let's just get right into the video. Leveling up your fishing in the War Within is actually a little more complicated than it ever should have been. The easiest way to reach max level Khazargar fishing is simply to fish in open water, only taking about 2 to 3 hours, but what you fish up may disappoint you greatly. See, in the War Within, fishing in open water doesn't guarantee fish, unlike many past expansions. In fact, the chance that you do catch a fish in open water is quite low, making it pretty obsolete in terms of making any money at all goes. To level your fishing alternatively, you can fish in pools, but it may take days or even weeks of fishing to max a skill out since you're not guaranteed to get skill, and you're pretty unlikely to get skill. So, do with that information what you will. Now, you don't really need max level fishing to make the most out of it, but I would still recommend leveling it since it never hurts to max it out. As far as add-ons go, like I mentioned in my previous fishing related video, I would recommend better fishing as it takes the entire fishing experience and boils it down to a single button, but there is a new alternative. This video was going to be sponsored by a fishing program, but after deliberating with my legal team, it has now been sponsored by my guild, The Guy. Are you a human main looking for a place to call home? Are you tired of sharing a space with some of the more inferior races on Azeroth? Well buddy, do I have good news for you. My guild, The Guy, is recruiting human mains for a wide array of content including raiding, mythic dungeons, delves, embezzling, plotting and scheming, standing in the middle of capital cities and posting up, just doing dope shit in general, and being nonchalant in high pressure environments. If you're interested in joining the guild and repping The Guy, go ahead and hop in my official Discord or shoot Bonsai or I a message in-game expressing your interest, and we'll deliberate on your acceptance. I'd like to thank my guild for sponsoring this video. Let's get right back into it. The first zone that I decided to explore the realm of farming fish in was, of course, the Isle of Dorne. The coastline in the zone is extremely easy to follow, meaning that you'll have no issues finding nodes, especially compared to the likes of zones such as the Ringing Deeps and Ashka Head, where the main sources of water come from small pools and streams running throughout the zone. Flying around the zone for an hour yielded me around 7,000 gold per hour, which is pretty bad. The main drawback to the zone as a whole is the lack of impressive fishing nodes. Unless you're hitting the floating treasure nodes, you're really only looking to make between 100 and 200 gold on average per pool while in the zone. So if I were you, I'd probably rather spend my time doing any other farm unless you truly are a fishing fiend. The Isle of Dorne as a whole has been pretty underwhelming this expansion for gold making aside from the bees, at least for me. So it's a good thing that there are brighter farming alternatives. See what I did there? Because Hollowfall's bright? The next farm that I decided to test my fishing might in was Hollowfall, and when I tell you that this zone has yet to fail me as an absolute goldmine of a zone, I truly mean it. Around the zone has pools of blood in the water nodes, which contain a wide variety of fish, the majority of which being the Kahedi slum shark, a cooking reagent that typically lists for over 400 gold on US realms. After an hour of farming, I was able to gather around 42,000 gold, which is a pretty solid rate, especially in the current fishing economy, so I was pretty geeked. As far as I can tell, the pools of blood in the water only spawn in Hollowfall, so if you're looking to make the most bang for your buck as to say, this zone's the best, as you're looking to make anywhere between 1,200 and 2,400 gold per pool, as opposed to the 100 to 300 that you might see in other pools around Khazargar. Combine this with dual gathering between fishing nodes, and I really think that Hollowfall may be the best zone in general for people looking to make gold off gathering professions, seeing as there are pretty much no drawbacks to the zone aside from mob density, but that's more of a skill issue type of problem, so I don't know what to tell you. The next zone that I decided to continue my fish frenzy in was the Ringing Deeps. I decided not to get my hopes up about the zone since I knew that there was certainly no way that it could compete with the Michael Jordan of War Within gathering zones that is Hollowfall, but I was still pleasantly surprised. In total, I made 14,000 gold in an hour of farming fish, which, while isn't good, is still slightly better than what I made in the Isle of Dorne, so I'll take what I can get. The main drawback to fishing while in the Ringing Deeps is that it takes away from farming wax, which in my opinion is the main drawing point to farming gold in the zone as a whole. It's worth mentioning as well that the zone's specific fish, the Roaring Angler Seeker, is only worth around 30 gold on US realms, meaning that you're typically looking to make between 120 to 200 gold per node, as opposed to the likes of the upwards of 2,000 gold that you can make while fishing in Hollowfall. That being said, however, I can't tell you what to do, so fish where you want. The last zone that I decided to fish in, and the last zone in Khazalgar, at least at the moment, is Ashka Head, and I had high expectations for this zone, seeing as this zone has a chance to spawn swarms of slum sharks, which, as I previously said, are the main high-ticket fish in this expansion. Farming this zone for an hour, however, made me realize that just because something says something doesn't mean that it's the reality. Flying around the zone and fishing, full of hope mind you, yielded me an awesome and impressive 5,000 gold for an hour of work, which was just so awesome. So perfect, man. I love farming gold in Ashka Head. Move aside, Hollowfall. Make some room for your spider-infested, estranged neighbor. The reality that I learned about the swarms of slum sharks was that they are only available while you have the buff for the fishing derby, meaning that the only real and true way of obtaining Kahedi slum sharks on the regular is by farming the blood in the water pools while in Hollowfall, which is just awesome. In all honesty, fishing may be more of a bust this expansion than any other expansion I've seen, and I really think that says a lot. That being said, however, if you're lucky and uncontested, there's still some money to be made, and if you do have that derby buff while in Ashka Head, I'm certain you'll be able to make an easy bag, but that's entirely depending on whether you have the buff or not, so I wouldn't gamble it. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. I hope that this video proved to be informative for you, as I spent 4 hours of my life fishing for an 8-minute video, so I would appreciate a like, or don't. I don't care anymore so long as I don't have to fish in Ashka Head again. Unless Blizzard makes it so that fishing is viable in open water, I don't see fishing being a viable method for gold making throughout the rest of the expansion. It really is that bad. Like I've been saying in all my videos as of late, my Discord server is officially open, so if you'd like to drop in, there's a link to a PowerPoint in the description with a link at the very end. Anyways, that being said, as always, peace.